All right, let's look at the cause and effect chart for the story, The Big One. Okay, our first cause is the broken water mains. Oops. Left the city without water. And because of this, what was the effect? Well, because the broken water mains left the city with no water, the fire department couldn't put out fires. So because this happened, this was the effect. Because the water mains broke, there was no water flowing, so the fire department couldn't use their hoses to put out water. They didn't have access to any of the water. Okay, our next cause and effect. Let's actually start with the effect this time. Many buildings were destroyed and lives were lost. And what caused the buildings to be so many buildings to be destroyed and so many lives lost? And it talks about in the story how the actual earthquake didn't do nearly as much damage as the fires after the earthquake. So the fires burned through the city, and that is what caused a majority of the buildings to be destroyed, and that's how most people who were killed in the aftermath of the earthquake, that's how most of them died. It wasn't the actual earthquake that killed the most people, it was the fires that the fire department couldn't put out after the earthquake that did the most damage to buildings and to people. Okay, our next one, the cause, the people of San Francisco refused to give up. And I'm sure some people did move, but a majority of people decided they wanted to stay and rebuild San Francisco. They liked their city and they didn't want to just give up and leave, although I'm sure some did. But because most people refused to give up and wanted to stay and rebuild the city, because of that, the effect was the city was rebuilt bigger and stronger than before. Okay. All right, so there's our cause and effect for The Big One. Now you continue in your Google Classroom where you are going to be answering the comprehension questions for this story that are on page 549, and there's also a help video in Google Classroom. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.